great good morning, everyone. It is a frigid but beautiful Thursday, January 29, year of our Lord, 2026. My Cordaro Jeweler's watch tells me it's 9:10 and change. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. Broadcasting today from the United States of America, where we should follow the law. It's also the place where the brave, like the veterans we pay tribute to today, thanks to our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality group, like Colonel Jesse Olszewski, Glenn Lyon, Edward Monco, Wilkes-Barre, Nicholas Mazer, Dallas, James Ames, Jefferson Township, Dominic Avasato, Old Forge, and Leonard Zawacki, Dixon City. Veterans we've lost this year, but celebrate today, thanks to John. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, irreplaceable, amazing founding fathers who determined, based on all of human history and all of Western thought, that government should not be, could not be, would not be our parent, our guide, our salvation, our direction. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right granted to each individual by God. Freedom couldn't be parceled out to groups, and it couldn't be controlled by government or government officials, because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, no matter how they use or abuse it. Now, only because of these freedoms, and armed with same, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny from all over the world created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show will always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And with that essential preamble dealt with, we can gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense and let you know that because of our commitment to common sense, we will provide a sanctuary of sanity for you in a world where upside down is, well, they're trying to make it upside right. And we're not going to let them. We got a whole political party, the Democrat Party, that's gone insane. It's not you. It's them, I promise you. So, more is coming out about Mr. Preddy. He was a violent agitator. Whatever else he did in his life, he became radicalized, maybe by the jackasses who run Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota. It's disgraceful. These people are disgraces. There really is. There are no redeeming qualities for a guy like Tim Walz. He's a jackass. He's incompetent. And I've heard this conclusion. I don't know that it's the case. But a lot of people say, look, none of this happened in Minnesota until the federal government started investigating the massive fraud against state programs. And here we are. And we've got four officials who not only shouldn't be anywhere near office, they should be in prison. That is Keith Ellison, who's the Attorney General, and literally, these are all insane people. These are not normal people by any stretch of the imagination, by any measure. Keith Ellison, Ilhan Omar, the $40 million woman, Walz, who's Rip Taylor without the confetti. Rip was fun. And then Mayor Fry. I mean, just jackasses. Scum. And this is all going, you heard the montage we played. The logic of the position that normal people are taking, and I know this, and it's sad that a lot of people, because of the media bias that they're subjected to, and I'm not just talking about the left-wing goofballs, that just march in lockstep with whatever a Chuck Schumer or a Fry or whatever these idiots say. We've got an organized, coordinated effort to undermine the government of the United States, to undermine the country, its culture, its history. This is only one part of that war. It's beyond a culture war, and they're funded by billionaires like George Soros, and others. The Red Chinese billionaire, to hurt America, to harm America, and there are soft-headed Americans going along with it and lunatic Americans going along with it. I heard Tom Homan this morning. He laid it out crystal clear. We're not asking Minneapolis or state law enforcement to enforce immigration laws. See, that's what they always say. Well, we're not going to enforce. They're liars. They're hypocrites. They're scum. And there's no redeeming qualities there. None. They just lie at the drop of a hat. No one asked them to enforce immigration law. They asked them to assist. The first component of assistance would be in county jails, and this may be where we made some progress with the scum, that county jails turn over criminal illegal aliens. What is wrong with that? I don't get it. And allow ICE agents, Custom Border Control, whatever federal agents to do their jobs, just as you would the FBI. That's all they're asking for. And we'll get it done and we'll get out of here. That's what he said. But you've got to help us get out of here. You're extending the problem. And by the way, they want another death. You heard Gutfeld at the top of the hour. They want more deaths. They want more sacrificial lambs. That's the left. That's the sickness. That's the evil that is at the core of all of this. The open borders. Evil was at the core of all of it. Doesn't matter if Joe Biden was incompetent. He was working on behalf of evil. And this has been the result. And again, it's so easy to point out, anybody who doesn't want to be, wants to be other than childlike, why isn't this happening elsewhere? And by the way, they don't care about the deaths of various people, about 50 under Obama. They didn't care about it. It's all phony. It's all contrived. And if you're one of the non-paid idiots protesting at Fetterman's office the other day, God help you. You're walking around like a blind man without a cane. You can't be that stupid. You've got to sit in your kitchen or something and say, what am I protesting for in 10-degree weather? Like, what is it? That an illegal alien who's committed a crime should not be deported. That's what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for freedom. You're not fighting for anything. We saw that goofball Preddy spitting at ICE officers, breaking a taillight on their car. His parents knew he'd become radicalized. They were extremely worried about him. They said, don't do this. But he went sick. Just like the woman who got killed the week before. They've gone sick. They're following a sick, twisted agenda. They're into it. And it's pure idiocy. Ignited and inspired by pure evil. Period. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Much to talk about today, and you are welcome to join us in the conversation. 570-883-0098 to call or to text. We'll be back. Well, we're trying to find Paige Cognetti, mayor of Scranton. She had big fundraisers planned in Washington, D.C., and they got canceled. We're assuming she decided at some point to do her job. So it has begun. The NRDC Action Fund will be hosting Mayor Paige Cognetti at our office in D.C. next week. I hope you can join us. As you know, Paige is currently the mayor of Scranton and is the Democrat candidate in PA running against Representative Rob Bresnahan. They talk about how important the race is. Not only is she a fantastic candidate and public servant, but she's also just a great person. Meet and greet Mayor Paige Cognetti, Thursday, January 29th. And then they had to postpone it because she had to rush back to Scranton to not get caught campaigning instead of doing her job, which is what we told you she would be doing. That's unbelievable. You can't make it up. I mean, these people are so predictable. They're so obvious in everything they do. It's really scary. She is going to be campaigning. She could care less about the city of Scranton. I'm sorry. By the way, she used you to start. If you didn't get that, then you're missing some marbles. You really are. And now we have a lousy mayor who's distracted from even doing the awful job that she was doing. By the way, we may be better off. But I know this. The streets in Scranton are not fully plowed. They have not caught up to the snowstorm. Our garbage pickups are delayed by a day. Unreal. It's just... Now, again, the things that you do as a mayor, like the mayor of Scranton, you declare an emergency so that you have the opportunity to apply for federal funds. You then go out and hire private contractors to supplement what your DPW can do. You gather up and clear off parking spaces. I was downtown at a Terra 519 last night. It's practically unparkable. They haven't cleared the snow from the courthouse square because we've got no leadership. Zero. A mayor who doesn't understand the concept. And again, if you have the beliefs she has, the left-wing lunacy that she subscribes to, you cannot be good at your job. It's because you're divorced from reality. Fact, truth, and reality escape you. Amazing. By the way, on a better note, you hear Bob Parker, who advertises, like insurance. He's insurance markets by the big brown cow. Well, I was down to see Bob Parker, but just an enjoyable guy. And he helped me out, and we're going to move forward. I can't even believe it. I'm at Medicare age. I'm going to be 65 next month. So I'm trying to sign up for Medicare. It ain't easy. They don't make it easy. We'll see how long it takes me to get this done. You try to get an appointment at the Social Security office, and you can't. I don't know quite what I'm going to do, what the next step is. I really don't. I tried it online, but it wouldn't download the pictures that are required. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, Minnesota, and I'm happy Tom Homan's there. And by the way, I really think they should be supporting the Border Patrol head who was there previously. I'm forgetting the name. They should be supporting him. They should say, look, he did a good job under impossible circumstances. We've got to reset for political purposes, and we are now doing so. Because that is what's happening. You know, we're losing the messaging war because the left-wing lunatics are the best messengers and liars ever. So we're going to send in a new guy, make it look fresh, make it be fresh to some extent, and we'll see what the results are. But again, it's only happening there. Somebody wants to play Tequila again. Oh, and I didn't mention it. That's right. Murphs has a band called The Champs. They had the #1 hit with Tequila. The group includes sax player Jim Seals and drummer Dash Crofts, who went on to become Seals and Crofts in the 70s. How about that? I did not know that, Johnny Carson would say. Well, what I do know is that we've got to hear from our sponsors. And then we're going to come back and do our Veterans Tribute. We're going to do the weather, and we're going to do more. And a reminder, this hour brought to you, and when you're in the cold, please remember this. This hour is brought to you by Tina Morocco. She is the Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International Naples, serving all of Southwest Florida. You can reach her at moroccotina@gmail.com. We'll be back. Our veterans this hour and every hour, this day and every day, brought to you by our friend John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality as we head into this weekend. Sergey's Live, the nightclub. It'll be open tonight. I can't believe it's Thursday already. Cutie and I stopped by with a little birthday party for my granddaughter, who's 5. She's my oldest grandchild. But they've got an amazing happy hour at Terra. $10. $10 for a drink. We got off cheap, $20. That was really, and to be in that atmosphere, just loved it. Warm and cozy. And I did find a parking spot. And, well, Big Lou's a big truck. We could get around even if the mayor doesn't do her job. But fine dining, great bar restaurants, can't top Basiliga hospitality. Colonel Jesse Olszewski, formerly of Newport Street, Glen Lyon. We lost him January 11th this year. Born in Glen Lyon, proud graduate of Newport High School. She dedicated her life to education, service, and the care of others. Jesse earned a nursing degree from the Mercy Hospital School of Nursing in Wilkes-Barre, followed by a bachelor's degree from Misericordia and a master's degree from the University of Scranton. She was employed for many years at Retreat State Hospital. She became later supervisor of vocational adjustment services. Jessie went on to continue her professional career at Danville State Hospital, where she remained until her retirement. Her work reflected her compassion, leadership, and commitment to improving the lives of those she served. She had an impressive military career in the United States Army Reserve, achieving the rank of colonel. Her military service was highlighted by deployment to Saudi Arabia during Operation Desert Storm, when she led her team as commanding officer of the 300 Field Hospital, a testament to her courage, dedication, and sense of duty. She's survived by her loving nieces and other family members. Colonel Jesse Olszewski. Edward Monco, Wilkes-Barre. We lost him December 31st last year. He was surrounded by family. He was born in Wilkes-Barre, 1962 graduate of Coughlin High School. He served as an Army veteran during the Vietnam War. Prior to retirement, Ed was employed for many years as a press operator at Suburban Publishers and later at Panel Prints. He was a member of St. Nicholas, St. Mary Parish in Wilkes-Barre. He loved trains. He was an enthusiastic collector of model trains as well. Ed survived by his loving wife of 60 years, Shirley, and by his children, their spouses, grandchildren, and other family members. Edward Monco. Our great veterans this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from our pal, meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain Resort. Guys, this is prime time. It's prime time for Montage. So many things to do. They're now renting the tents with fire pits. You can ski, hang out, have a party, listen to music, and don't forget that great bar in the lodge. Good food as well, by the way. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, chance of a passing flurry, 17 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, very cold. It's going to get down to 0 again. I heard Joe tell the morning news that, it's minus in the colder climes of the market and maybe a couple degrees above, but watch your freezing pipes. Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cold, 15. Saturday, partly sunny, breezy and cold, 15. Sunday, cloudy and breezy, 20. But I heard it might go up to 30 next week. Well, thank you for small favors. Hit it, Bulldog. The animals. Murph says, this date, 1965. I can't believe it's January 29th already. They released their version of the hit, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. I didn't know there were other versions. See what we learn from Murph every day? By the way, a cop friend of mine texted this in. He said, good morning, brother. My opinion on Preddy. I'm really starting to think that this is the new way of suicide by cop, especially after seeing the last video that was put out today, meaning that video of him spitting and kicking. By the way, carrying the handgun. Just my thoughts. I feel the sick, especially in a suicide state of mind, are always looking for a way, and unfortunately, this is a great opportunity for them to succeed in their mission. It's sad, but I feel that was about the most of these people, because why the hell would you be acting this way over the law doing their job, and especially for feeling that angry for people they don't even know, and frankly, they probably never even liked or cared for prior to this mess. Exactly. I'm not saying for all of them, but some of them are way over the top, especially bringing a gun to an event like a supposed peaceful rally. God bless America. I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's go to Jim from Hazelton quickly. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good. How you doing today, Bob?
I'm good.
You're lathered up a little early today, there, buddy.
Oh, it starts at 6 in the morning when I start reviewing the news.
Well, it could be something else too at 6 o'clock. You know, the Kool-Aid stand is open pretty early nowadays.
It is for them, yes, indeed.
I didn't mention that to you yesterday when I talked. I know it's rare to talk to you 2 days in a row, but I got a couple quick comments. The first one is what I talked to Bulldog about. I wonder where the Democrats are on these affordable care supplements. I guess they gave up on the millions that really needed to supplement the government money to help with their insurance payments. I guess they really cared about them, that they gave up on it.
Yeah. But then they just go on to the next issue. It's this, and this is going to be the end of the world. Well, now we've got Minnesota, and let's go on that and go crazy. Then it'll be the next thing. Let's go on back on ice and go crazy and shut the government down. You're right. They're not. Nobody. I'm happy you pointed that out. Nobody in the Democrat Party, Schumer, the scum, none of them are pointing out that we're shutting the government down because they're not going to pay the subsidies for Obamacare. Nobody. Now it's something else. Unbelievable, people.
Well, what I was going to say too, the second quick comment is you don't see any kids getting arrested like we were talking yesterday. You don't see any kids getting arrested and deported in Minnesota. So I guess they could, all these illegals that are in Minnesota, all they got to do is hide. If they just stayed home like the kids, they wouldn't be getting arrested.
Yeah, well, yeah, they could be Anne Frank. Yeah, unbelievable.
And the second and the last thing is, well, Paige Cognetti, she's got to raise that money for the Joe Biden library. She's got to run for Congress. She still needs money for Joe's library, that she can buy that building there, that bank building, and she could give Joe the keys to the bank building and say, here you go, Joe. Here's your presidential library. Come, it's in Scranton. What more do you want? Your hometown, Joe.
Oh, Lord. Well, we've got an old, Lackawanna County has an old bookmobile. It's broken down right now, but we're gonna get the bookmobile from the 70s and give it to Joe Biden, because that's about all he merits. And then good, you got a library. We'll just put it up on blocks somewhere in downtown, and Paige could be the tour guide.
And while they're doing that, they could have, in that little library thing, they could get 3 or 4 different things for Kool-Aid dispensers, and they could give out Kool-Aid. You could get the red and the grape and the blue and all that.
Well, they can have Kool-Aid. They can have Kool-Aid, and they can have pornographic books that were banned from schools that they opposed keeping out of grade school libraries. It's absolutely perfect. It'll work. Thank you, Jim.
Out of the one side, quickly, out of the one side, they could have the Kool-Aid, and the other side, they could do ice cream. Joe loves ice cream.
Yes. And
They could sell ice cream.
he'll never be back to Scranton again. But he's got a hometown
Yeah,
hero banner.
one side out of ice cream, the other side out of Kool-Aid.
There you
Put
go.
it right. That's the perfect place to put it, right next to the Joe Biden sign there, the hometown hero sign.
Amen.
That's a perfect spot for it.
All right, Jim, thank you, my friend. We've got to take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, will return. This hour of the program brought to you by Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's International Realty in Naples, but serving all of Southwest Florida. You can reach her at moroccotina@gmail.com or just Google her, Muracco, Tina. She's the best if you want to get out of the weather. Well, that's Bobby Fuller, the Bobby Fuller 4, Murph says. They released their hit I Fought the Law on Decca Records, this date 1966. How about that? Cute song, I Fought the Law, and the law won. I can identify with that one. I can truly identify with that one. Somebody asking, is the Sig Sauer handgun that Preddy carried one of the models prone to unintentional discharge? Yes. Our man Frank from Old Forge pointed that out earlier in the week, and it's been confirmed over and over. I even played a little cut of someone discussing that. Yeah, that's when they went to Glocks, because the Sig Sauer was dangerous. By the way, Inspector Guy helpfully texts any Bob, call and talk to a real person if you can get through. Right now, I can't. They'll give you what info is needed to send. They told me to send to Oklahoma as it would be processed faster than the local. Took about a month. And then he said, I use Bob. Great guy. Helped a lot. Good luck. Thank you, Inspector Guy. And yeah, Bob Parker said, I told Bob, I said, Bob, when I get this resolved, then you got to go with these advantage plans or whatever, or I need your advice on where to go and what to do. So we'll be dealing with Bob going down the road. But I got my Hershey's bar. I insisted on it. And I enjoyed it. Hershey's with almonds, too, by the way, which is, to me, the only Hershey bar there is. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's thought-provoking that some of these people could have a death wish. I mean, you can't be right in the head when you're spitting on, kicking at, fighting with a loaded gun in your belt or whatever, driving at a ICE officer while another one's hanging on your door handle. There's got to be something wrong with you. Again, I relate it to a raid by the state police, the feds, or the local cops. You're going to put yourself in the middle of that and try to prevent them from doing their job. Do you think the result is going to be a good one for you? So you've got to have serious mental problems to be doing what these people are doing. Now, the soft heads that are protesting, you just have to be ignorant and not know what the whole story is and not care, by the way, because I've told you this before. People aren't stupid. You go to the person who's the least educated, you name it. They get a rare disease, they will be able to tell you chapter and verse about it. So, if you want to discover the truth, the facts, and reality, you can. It's readily available. No matter what your news sources, by the way, your primary news sources, you can find the truth when you get beyond left-wing commentators and left-wing media. But you don't want to. So but again, if you're just protesting, all right, you're a soft head, fine, whatever. We feel sorry for you. We would never hire you because you would be incompetent at whatever you did. But the people who are confronting them and blocking them and provoking them, that's mental illness. That's real derangement. And believe me, Preddy and Good, they follow that pattern. Believe me. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back. You know the war goes on. Great good morning, everyone. My Picardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:10 and change here in the great Northeast. This beautiful but frigid, what's it, Thursday, January 29th already? Wow, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. And it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values. And with the help of our friend John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like the veterans we lost last year and this, but celebrate today, thanks to John. Like Ed Monco, Wilkes-Barre. Colonel Jesse Olszewski, she was from Glen Lyon. James Gerald Ames, Jefferson Township. Dominic Avasato, Old Forge. Nicholas Mazer, Dallas. And Leonard Zawacki, Dixon City. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our focus and commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you when you're watching the left stream news and you're saying, what? From Rich McHale, this morning, Bob, same problems, different day. Is there any sign of unity in sight? No, you can't have unity with insane people. So let's not set unreachable goals. Just impossible. Literally impossible. Again, there's no common ground you could have with an insane person. And that's who we're dealing with. You hear that exchange. Please don't cross swords with our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Tammy Duckworth. She's a Democrat from Illinois. I mean, she's not the dumbest member of the Senate, but she's trying to be. Mazie Hirono is that. But Rich says, especially some of the people who lift up people like Bruce Springsteen, God help us all. You're right. You're right. Somebody, by the way, advised me, don't sign up for Medicare if you've got coverage, which I do, but it sucks. It says, if you have medical with WILK, wait for full benefits. I thought you got them at 65. By the way, somebody else pointing out, Bob, LTS, isn't it ironic that someone like you that wants to get Medicare on the up and up, but fraudsters are able to do it in a minute, says Slick. Yeah, I know. Maybe they should consult. Maybe I should consult a Somali. I could get on really quickly. I mean, they'll end up making $30 million off of it, but I could get on quicker, Slick. That's maybe we'll think about this. Hey, let's go to our man Mike from Bloomsburg. He's been patient. How are you, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing good. That was quite invigorating listening to little Marco, as Donald Trump called him at one time.
Rubio is just so sharp. Oh, I love him.
Yes.
And Trump has gone on and said, I'm a Mike Pompeo fan also, but he said he's the best Secretary of State ever, and I'm telling you, he's as good as any in my lifetime, and that would be Pompeo, who I thought was the best. He may be better. Yep.
I do believe that, yeah. Hey, I just called in because I want to tell you exactly how I feel and what I think. I believe right now that the United States is under a multifaceted attack, okay? And one of the goals is obviously to tear down the Republicans, tear down democracy, but and the way they're going to do that is destroy the dollar, okay? And China right now, if people are watching the gold and silver prices, which I've always done my whole life, because when I was a newspaper boy, I used to collect those coins, silver ones, when they started to stop making them, right? So I've always followed it. And right now, the gold and silver prices are going up like a skyrocket.
Yep.
And it's my understanding that China owns a lot of our treasury debt. You know, we've had a free ride for a long time, being able to spend as much money as we want.
Not as much as you would think, by the way. The Americans own, I'm going by recollection of the last time I looked at it, Americans own the most treasury debt. Great Britain, the British own the second amount. The Japanese are like number 3, and then China is like 4th or 5th. It's about $1 trillion. It's not nothing, but it's only of just a few percent of the overall national debt.
Right. And again, if you look at like the precious metals, okay, a lot of times what happens, you have this gigantic big run-up, okay? And then the smart people are going to take their money off the table at the top, and then all of a sudden it crashes. So in my mind, China is trying to be that smart guy at the top, taking their money out of the treasury bills and currently buying the silver and gold to make that price run up, and eventually it's going to crash. And I think that's going to cause a big disturbance. And, they're just trying to do whatever they can do to hurt us. In my mind, the Democrats are also trying to do, the Democrat left, okay, the people like Minneapolis, those people up there, like I believe they're crazy, but they're crazy in a way, from my opinion.
Crazy, but well-financed and well-organized by people who hate this country.
Exactly. And they're able to manipulate the people on the street to doing their dirty work. The rhetoric that they're using, making it, get in their faces and fight and resist and all this stuff. You have a large number of people, some of them maybe possibly mentally unstable. You're going to get some reactions. And this is the belief that I have that I think might get the most pushback.
But Mike, do you agree with what I said earlier? There has to be something wrong with you if you are doing what this good woman and this pretty man did in the last weeks of their lives. I mean, there's got to be something wrong with you. There has to be.
Well, I will not address them personally, but if you take a cross-section of society, you're going to have susceptible people in there. They could have been those susceptible people that you're describing. And that rhetoric affects them to do behaviors that you or I would not do, or anybody that's relatively normal. And the last thing I'm going to say, and this is where I think I may get some pushback even from you, but I do believe that there are many people that are on the left that are I don't want to say they're extremely happy, but they are satisfied that their rhetoric resulted in 2 people being killed.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. These are sacrificial lambs, and they don't even know it.
No,
you're not getting any pushback from me. That's 100% right. People don't matter to the left. The agenda and their personal power and those of the people close to them in political terms are all that matters. Death, dismemberment, and none of this matters. The well-being of the people following them does not matter. They are cannon fodder.
Okay, 100%, I agree. Now, I have a question for you. If you look at throughout history, countries being overthrown, all these things that have happened that we know about. Who are the useful idiots right now?
Go ahead. You're going to tell me.
Well, I don't know, but I.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Repeat part of that question. Who are the useful idiots for the left?
The left, yes.
Well, the Democrat Party, the Democrat leadership. All of the left wingers, like Bernie Sanders, just for an example. I don't think there's an evil bone in his body. He's just a fool. And so there's your useful idiot. Then you have, look at Tammy Duckworth yesterday, senator from Illinois, Mazie Hirono. I mean, you could go through the list. These people are not evil, but they're being driven by evil ideology and people who are using that evil ideology to destroy this country. Because this country stands in the way of a lot of their goals.
Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine, I may have said this before in your show, but if the United States were just to disappear, the rapture or whatever, we're gone.
You talk about the dark ages? The Dark
Oh, my
Ages
God.
would be 1,000 times worse because now they've
Hell
got
on earth.
technology to crush people, and they've got nobody to call them out. Oh, my gosh, yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
But they
It's
see
this-
that. They know that. If the United States is diminished, like if Kamala Harris won, we would not be a factor on the world stage, and they would be tromping all over the planet on people and countries that are trying to do the right thing for their citizens.
Now, you're absolutely right. And if I can tie it up, I started out with or talked about China selling our treasuries. If we are no longer the world's reserve currency, that will take away the ability to just spend, spend, and spend as far as our government,
Yes.
with programs and things like that. But they're not going to quit. They'll try to keep it up. And that is what, they'll never give up spending to buy votes. And if
Yes.
they don't do that, if we don't balance or even come close to balancing the budget and show some progress, this situation is going to continue.
Well, but we're
that-
unfortunately, and I say this and mean it that way, but fortunately at the same time, we are the best of the worst. You look at our primary adversary, China, economic and military. They've got more debt than we do, if you could believe that. Their what would be the equivalent of state and local governments have enormous indebtedness that they're never going to be able to resolve. Yeah, so they've got demographic problems that are going to add to that debt. So we just happen to be the best of the worst. So it'll be difficult to replace the dollar.
It will be difficult, but not impossible.
Oh, they're trying. That's what BRAC was. Remember BRAC?
Yeah.
Brazil and all these South Africa, China, Russia. They all tried to do this. With Trump coming in, you notice they had to go back underground because he's not going to let it happen. But after he's gone, Katie, bar the door.
We have to crush them with prosperity and civility. That's what we have to do. We have to do that. We have to unite. We have to get together, and we have to understand.
But
that
again,
we are in
let's
danger.
be realistic. Unite with normal people. You're not going to unite. I'm not going to unite with Macy Hirono. I'm not going to unite with Bernie Sanders. Never the twain shall meet. And compromising with them is a nightmare. You can't compromise with them at all.
It's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight. But if we need to turn the ship around, we're a super tanker in the ocean, and it takes a long time to turn around. And we have to have the will. We have to have the education. People have to be taught. People think that the United States is a terrible country and that we're evil. They're being taught that. I mean, down here in the Central Columbia School District, a teacher told her class, this is what's being reported by somebody that was an exchange student, that their history teacher told the class that Mount Rushmore should be torn down.
That person should be fired so quickly. Oh, no, it's happening. The left, the evil of the left ideology and their soft-headed followers are the greatest danger to this country right now. They really are. Hey, we got to go, Michael, but thank you, always.
Oh, you take care. I appreciate it. Take
All
care.
right, my
Bye.
friend. We're way over, but that was worth it. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. We'll do a little history, a little music, and then we'll come back with you at 570-883-0098. Elvis. RCA Records. Murph says this date, 1970, they released Elvis's hit, Kentucky Rain, written, and remember this name, Eddie Rabbitt and Dick Hurd. How about that? Great song, huh? Bob Cordaro back with you. My man Mark the Shark from Hazleton. He says society, well, he doesn't say, but this is from Edward Abbey, naturalist and author, whose birthday was today. Long past, but birthday. Society is like a stew. If you don't keep it stirred up, you get a lot of scum on the top. Yeah, that's what the establishment is. The scum on top. Well, my Bacardo Jewelers watch tells me that it's 10:30, which means we've got to take a break. But guys, let me do you a favor. Get to Bacardo's. Your Valentine will love a great gift from that beautiful Bacardo Jewelers, Jefferson Avenue and Spruce Street in downtown Scranton. Rings, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, birthstones. They'll help you find the perfect gift. Do it right this Valentine's Day. Get it at Bacardo's. I can't give you any better advice than that. I know that's what I'm doing. So guys, we're going to keep informing you of the sophistication and organization of which these deaths are the obvious and inevitable symptom. And it is a group of people trying to destroy this country. They are extremely well-funded, and because they're well-funded, they're well-organized. And they've got enough fools like Mr. Preddy who will go and risk their lives for they don't know what, but they'll do it. It's there, and that's only one prong of the attack. Don't think that the massive government fraud isn't part of the game plan. Open borders, part of the game plan. Not prosecuting criminals, part of the game plan. We're going to play Larry Krasner. I don't know how to describe him without cussing. The Philadelphia DA, Soros-backed. You're going to hear him, and your blood's going to boil. But we'll take a break now. We'll be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, dutifully, patriotically, loyally brought to you by our man John Basiliga and his great companies. Today featuring Basiliga Hospitality. They're the best. 3 great bar restaurants that you will love, I promise you. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. The Far Street Tavern, the reimagined tradition in the Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. The Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. Fine dining, the Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. Awesome, old world. A Terra 519, a modern take on fine cuisine. It's understated Manhattan. It's gorgeous. And guess what? They not only have an amazing happy hour with $10 drinks, but they have a Terra after hours. Yeah, the bar will be open. Not after hours like we used to think about it, but they'll be open 9, 10 o'clock all weekend. James Gerald Ames. He was from Jefferson Township. We lost him last November 27th. He was born in Hornell, New York, a graduate of Canaseraga High School in that state. He went on to serve us for 4 years in the U.S. Navy. He graduated from the Philadelphia College of Bible Seminary in 1971, then obtained an associate degree at Rochester Community College. He worked as a salesman for Prudential for many years and also as a retail shoe business. In retirement, he worked at Weiss Market in Hamlin and was a member of Light of Christ Church and the Gideon's Ministry. You know, the people who place the Bibles. He loved everyone around him and wanted them all to feel Christ's love. Jim's was marked by his undeniable strength and fortitude in everything that he did. Survivors include his ex-wife and best friend, Sandy, his children, and many other family members. James Ames. Nicholas Mazer. We lost him at age 83, December 29th last year. He was from Dallas. Born in Kingston, graduate of Edwardsville High School, class of 1960. Member of the Trucksville United Methodist Church. He proudly owned and operated Mazer Upholstery at Harvey's Lake for more than 50 years before retiring. Prior to that, he'd worked at Metropolitan Wire and Craft Associates as an upholsterer. He served this country honorably in the United States Navy aboard the USS Wasp, a legendary ship. He was a member of the George M. Dallas Masonic Lodge. Nicholas was an avid hunter and fisherman, Lake Ontario being his favorite destination. He loved Corvettes and Elvis Presley. Surviving, his daughters, his grandchildren, who called him Grandpa Love. Could you get a better name than that? Nicholas Mazer. Our great veterans this hour brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Oh, it's the weather. Storm Tracker 16 forecaster meteorologist Joe Snedeker. He says today, a mix of clouds and sun, a chance of a passing flurry. By the way, all this brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain. High 17. Tonight, partly cloudy, very cold, down to 0. I've got it on good advice. The skiers are loving this weather. As freezing as it is, they're loving it. And they're loving Montage. But partly cloudy, very cold, 0 or thereabouts tonight. Friday, partly sunny, breezy, and cold, 15. Saturday, partly sunny, breezy, and cold, 15. Sunday, cloudy and breezy, 20. Heard Joe Snedeker tell us the warm-up might take place next week, all the way up to 30 by Wednesday. Well, when I think weather, I think Montage. When I think Montage Mountain, I think about the weather. How about that? Murph goes deep, baby, doesn't he? This date, 1973, Johnny Rivers received a gold record for his hit. Yeah, that's the one. Bob Cordaro back with you. Of course, Donald Trump. I mean, I was so surprised he didn't step on a rake when asked to comment about that incident. He had a good interview yesterday. The WILK show's on at 4 o'clock on Fox. And I've got to switch amongst all of the cable shows. You wonder what I do when I leave here. He had a great appearance. And the focus, they're trying to make it on the economy. The Democrats, the left, is trying their best. Because, man, if a J.D. Vance becomes the president after this, they can dismantle the entire establishment, which is sucking the life out of this country through NGOs, nonprofits, and fraud. They are afraid. They are afraid. Somebody says, Bob, please bring back the Leaf Guard commercials, the quantum fiber commercials. Singing opera is driving me crazy. I don't know what those are because they're listening on the Odyssey app in Florida. LTS back at you, though. Bob, these peaceful protesters are advocating for criminals. Yet how many of these blue-haired idiots are inviting these criminals into their homes? Zero. That says it all. Yep. Another good morning and greetings, Bob, ALTS. They tore down statues, renamed schools, buildings, and military bases, called to defund the police, and now abolish ICE. You are spot on. They are insane. They are. They are. It's insanity. Hey, let's go. We got to play the theme song first, but let's go to our man Larry from Plymouth. We'll see what he has to say. All right, Larry, you're on, brother.
Okay, Bob, I'll tell you what. I don't like the way the country's going, and I don't only mean even Minnesota and everything. You know, Bob, I used to like Pam Bondi. I have no faith in her at all. She's not doing nothing. Now, I don't know if she's being told by people above, but she's not doing anything.
I don't agree with you.
Well, tell me some stuff she did.
It takes time. You've got to remember, she has to work her way through a Justice Department which was completely corrupted by the establishment. And it takes time to build cases, which the Justice Department itself doesn't do. They need the FBI, and the FBI itself had been fully corrupted.
Oh, I know that.
So they have to work through the good and the bad within the department. And there's normal levels of incompetence, I'm sure, too. And finally get to a prosecution. And remember, any prosecution they bring, the defense will be completely funded, so they've got to be 100% right. So well, I think she's moving as quickly as possible. In fact, in a lot of ways, she's moving, and I say this as a lawyer, she's moving more quickly than I thought possible.
Well, if I see some arrests coming, then I'll change my mind. And
well, they just arrest 16 of those fools out in Minnesota.
A lot of these people come on these shows, and they have important jobs. And some of them look like, these women look like they just got out of high school. Bob, you the only way you gain knowledge is through experience, and they cannot have any experience.
I'm not sure who you're referring to.
Somebody I don't even know their names. But they look like they got out of high school.
You look at the press secretary, who's only like 30, early 30s at best.
Who? Carol Levitt.
She's awesome.
Well, she's only 20. She's only 28, Bob. But she looks
better.
Very
I've
good
never seen a better one. I've never seen a better press secretary.
Well, Bob, I saw her better in her bikini.
Well, whatever.
Well, but anyway, Bob, here's the last thing I want to tell you. I know you were always interested in the space program, right? Like me?
Yes.
Okay. Here's a song you got. Well, I was listening to my 45s the other night, and I have this. I came upon this one record, and it's called "The Epic Ride of John H. Glenn."
Huh.
And it's by, guess who it's by? It's not exactly singing. It's by Walter Brennan.
How about that? Bulldog, are you writing this down?
The epic ride of John. It's stirring, Bob. It's stirring.
Wow, we'll try to play that today.
It's when he took his
Bulldog,
flight.
are you getting this?
Went around the world 3 times. It's really, really good.
He's being passive aggressive. He's not nodding his head. Bulldog, are you getting this? That's all I want to know. He says yes. Okay, we will
the
play
epic
it.
ride of John H. Glenn. Remember that.
We'll play it. All right, my friend. Thank you,
Okay,
Larry,
Bob.
and thank you for staying on the rails.
Okay.
All right, my man. He stayed on the rails. It's a big day on WILK. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. We'll be back. remember Walter Brennan. Isn't that great? Wow, good stuff. Thank you, Larry. We love your music suggestions. And we try to do if you guys haven't, but listen, I cannot upset Murph by messing up too much with his music selections. Just remember that. He does this every day. So when I can't play your song, don't get angry at me. Somebody texted in, actually not somebody, Tom from Clark Summit texts in. He said, Bob, I'm in no way perfect. However, I can't think of any amount of money that would make me do what these protesters are doing. Let's not call them protesters. The agitators, the lawbreakers. But continuing, he says, are doing. They must be desperate or, as you describe them. I describe them as mentally ill. I believe I'm a good person. However, I don't believe anyone would protest for me. These nuts are protesting people they don't even know. Beyond that, they're protesting for criminals. Why? Nothing productive happening here. It's all about a 20-second clip on the news so that they can tear down good people who are brave to risk their own lives and their families' lives to do this for us. Yeah, our ICE agents, our CBP. You're 100% right. Anyway, sorry for the long message. Don't be sorry, Tom. It was full of the whole package. Somebody says, Bob, you're going to listen to Barry Manilow live? The guy's like in his 80s. You think they're just going to prop him up on stage while he lip syncs all his hits? I don't think it's a Frankie Valli thing yet. I don't think it is. This is Locke's neighbor. That's his name for the show. Locke's neighbor. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to actually sing. We'll see, though, right? Hey, guess what? Lorraine is on the blower, and she's got a poem for us. We couldn't get her in yesterday, but she's here today. Lorraine from Hazleton. Hi,
Bob.
Lorraine.
I'm here. I'm here, but I can't get out. My car's stuck in the snow. Nobody will shovel me out. Come on up and shovel me.
That. Well, where do you want to go? Why would you want to go anywhere?
Well, I can't stand being in the house anymore. I'm going stir crazy.
Well, some would say that maybe you were that way before the snow.
I was going to say that about you, buddy, but you bet me to it.
That's why you're not allowed to tell jokes on the show.
Yeah, well, then you better stop, too.
Well,
I think your joke days are over.
My Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me it's 10:57, which means we don't have a lot of time for the...
You always say that just for me.
Well, the clock is the clock. The Cordaro Jewelers watch has me on track for the whole show.
I had enough crap going on for a couple weeks now. Don't be yelling at me.
Yeah, you haven't heard me yell yet.
Yeah, well, and you haven't heard me yell either. I could do it to you, but you son of a gun, you full of some blues. That fits you fine. You jerky.
Well, you got a poem for us. Come on.
Are you ready for the challenge?
Yes, we're ready for the poem.
But that's the title of the poem.
Oh,
are you ready for the challenge?
Go ahead, dear. I'm sorry.
Jeez,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You better be. You know what? Life can be a challenge. Don't must. I can't say it. Don't most of us know that very well. You could think that things are great. Then all of a sudden, everything isn't that swell. The challenge can be financial or maybe physical or emotional stress. All I know is that it can be very devastating and everything can become quite a mess. You can pray or just give up hope. Sometimes praying is difficult to do. I guess it depends on how strong you are and if you find praying works best for you. This world that we live in is not the world that we used to know. This is not being negative, but rather sometimes it's just the way things go.
Good. Life is a Challenge is the name of that poem, huh?
That's right. That's
Nice.
right.
Yeah, nice.
Maybe I should change it to Cordaro with a challenge. I think I will. Only for, oh, well, nobody will know who you are anyway.
Well, I'd be honored if you wrote a poem about me, although I'm sure it would be abusive.
Oh, buddy. I've been trying to think of a poem in my head, but what should I call? One time somebody said I should for what's the name? It's been such a long time since I called because I couldn't get through and I couldn't listen to you on the radio. No, seriously, that darn when they changed it and my phone was broke for weeks, so I had to get another one. And Mark Mayer, I'm gonna write one for you for the
Yes,
you.
write one about the Brick. The Brick is his tavern out there on Long Island.
Yes, my
And
poem's
it's
out there.
fabulous. I mean, it is the quintessential neighborhood bar.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm a quintessential poet, and if I had a brick, I'd throw it at you.
All right.
Fuzzy Wuzzy, I'll tell you.
On that kind note, Lorraine,
well, touche.
All right. Thank you, Lorraine. Lorraine from Hazleton. She was a little rough today. She is going stir crazy down there. You could tell. Guys, you know how I depend upon the Bacardo Jewelers watch to time the show. Well, let me do you a favor further. Get your Valentine a great gift from Bacardo Jewelers in downtown Scranton, corner of Jefferson Avenue and Spruce Street, catty corner from the Radisson Hotel. Rings, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, birthstones, every price category. They help you find just the perfect gift. Do it right this Valentine's Day. Get it at Bacardo's. We'll be back. great good morning, everyone. It is 11:09 a.m. here in the great Northeast. That's what my Cordaro Jewelers watch tells me. And it is a beautiful but frigid Thursday, January 29th, year of our Lord 2026. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our man John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like veterans we lost last year in this, but celebrate today thanks to John. Like Nicholas Mazer, Dallas, James Ames, Jefferson Township, Ed Monco, Wilkes-Barre, Colonel Jesse Olszewski, Glenn Lyon, Dominic Avasato, Old Forge, and Leonard Zawacki, Dixon City. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. You know, every time I have things I want to get to, you get sidetracked by insanity. I've told you how awful our newspapers are. So I'm perusing the newspaper today, and I opened to page 3, and they have art as activism is the story, with a big picture of some nail artist, who I won't name. She's up in Tunkhannock. She's using nail art to stand against ICE. So now here's one of the soft heads. This is news. This is page 3. Some idiot who protests against ICE by painting nails. Wow. When you think that our crappy newspapers couldn't get any worse, they go out and they top themselves. And in the articles, all lies about ICE and what is happening in Minnesota. Absolutely frightening. Whew. Anyway, if you're watching, or if you have a chance to watch on the live stream, and I've been doing it all week, I'm wearing, it's my friend Chris Finazzo. He was the Aeropostale executive who got wrongfully, and I could say that, I say it about myself, but I never proved it, he did, wrongfully jailed for about 5 years plus. And he now has his own clothing line coming out called All Time Great. And I'm wearing these shirts, and I'm telling you, they've got flags and battleships. The one I have, it's white with an American flag. Absolutely gorgeous with a helicopter. Oh, man. And he sent, I'm telling you, Krispy Kreme donuts, I can't get enough of them. So yesterday, he said, there's 24 donuts delivered. And I go, EJ, who's at the front there, didn't know who they was from. It turns out it's from my friend Chris Finazzo. He sent them by DoorDash or however you do that. I'm telling you, it was the most gorgeous selection of donuts I've ever seen. Now, I can't eat all of them like the way I used to. I would eat a dozen donuts without thinking about it. But I had 2 yesterday. I had 2 that were left over this morning. And so I thank Chris for the donuts and the all-time great shirt. I'm going to be telling you when it comes out, because if you're patriotic, you're going to love these shirts. You're going to love this clothing line. Anyway, I'm going to the garage today, and we will make all things right with the world this afternoon, helped by a little homemade chili and a little homemade wine. I'm looking forward to that this afternoon. I'm debating whether to bring Chauncey, because we smoke cigars and we're in a garage, and but I might bring him. We'll see. Depends how forlorn he looks when I go home after the show. But another thing. Greenridge held hostage to a lying Joe Biden hometown hero sign. Day 46. We tell the Greenridge Neighborhood Association, you can put up anything you want and make fools of yourself honoring that scum. But don't debase our veterans. It's day 46, Greenridge Neighborhood Association. Maybe the group will get some sense before long. You're embarrassing yourselves and all of us. All right. We're going to keep doing that. By the way, Bulldog, did you get that second thing, that second clip of Biden I sent you? We're supposed to start off with that. Remember those two clips I sent you of him stumbling and bumbling? I want them to know the incompetent boob that they're honoring. But again, if you're dumb enough, and I say this with due respect, with very little due, I say if you're dumb enough to honor and be proud that Joe Biden is from your neighborhood, why drag everybody else down with you, number one? But they don't think that way. But that's fine. But if you're dumb enough to honor Joe Biden, do not dishonor our veterans. He was not a veteran, period. Bob, is there any way you can make that Joe Biden flag nonsense go national? Well, it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And as somebody says, still Spruce Street and Central Scranton Expressway to me. Well, I don't refer to him as Biden. I'm disgusted by it. Wow. And by the way, everybody knows what a disgrace he was. He can't even raise money for a library. We're going to have to give him a broken down bookmobile here in Scranton and just park it on blocks. That'll be the Biden Library. And that's all he deserves. Unreal. Hey, quickly. Scranton veteran is seeking a kidney donor for a fresh start to the new year. According to a report, Marine Corps veteran Dana Nelson is hoping for a kidney transplant. He proudly served this country for 8 years in the United States Marine. Exposure to burn pits overseas led to severe health problems. A life-saving lung transplant gave Dana a second chance. Now complications have taken a toll on his kidneys. If you're interested in becoming a living donor, you can find information online at dovetransplant.org. Let's go to Max from Dixon City. How are you, Max?
Well, after hearing that opening with that prosecutor,
that's Larry Krasner, by the way, if you guys didn't detect it. This guy is an evil scumbag. I don't know if I don't know what synonyms to use for him. Other than cussing, he is a disgraceful, sickening scumbag. He won't prosecute criminals, but he's going to prosecute ICE. Yep.
He's a demon, and I've been dealing with him for like almost 15 years, or almost 15. It seems like for 100 years. But when he allowed that murderer that stabbed the guy from Penn State on Rittenhouse Square in the back, and his mom, I talked to the guy's mom, how he didn't get justice. This guy that they played the race card, and they didn't convict him. You know, her son was murdered in cold blood. This guy is just bought and paid for chaos, an agent of chaos, and that's what they're doing.
Yep.
These are communists.
He is a truly evil person. He is
truly evil.
He's devil-inspired Larry Krasner, District Attorney of Philly, without doubt.
Yeah, and he sounded like Gestapo when he was talking. And if people haven't picked up on the fact that this is a war cry, then that's on us. You know, they are declaring war on us and want to hunt us down. And you know what's ironic? Let's twist to Minnesota, where Ilhan Omar, bad actor, horrible actor.
Horrible person.
Gets sprayed with the apple cider vinegar, okay? Now let's take a look at this. First of all, she said all white men are dangerous and evil and blah, blah, blah. But yet she stares him right in the face. He comes at her with something. She doesn't flinch. And normally, if she speaks so derogatory about white men, do you think she'd show a little bit of fear? This big
Well,
guy getting in her face?
There's two explanations. One is that she's actually courageous, which is possible, and the other is that it was staged.
Right. Well, it's pretty obvious it was staged. She was nodding at him. She was sprayed. Okay, the first thing you do in that situation as security, you would clear the room. You don't know what was sprayed. You would probably have to decontaminate, take your clothes off, do all kinds of things, and she didn't do that. So it's pretty obvious what that was. That was bad acting. That was Jussie Smollett times 2.
It could be. Yeah.
So
could be.
We see bad actors all over in this bunch. They're a bad batch of actors. They're scripted. They're financed by Soros. And they're basically declaring war on all of Americans. And if the Americans that are siding with them, okay, and I mentioned this yesterday, the crowd was influenced to vote for Barabbas to be released over Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the power of propaganda. That's the power of what motivates people who have been driven to hatred of a certain entity. Now, they hate Trump. They hate Trump supporters. So they're going to do everything in the short period to try to stick it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So they're going to sell their souls to people who actually hate them in order to get immediate gratification of going against Trump and the Trump supporters. That's why we're seeing what's going on today. All of these like little old lady neighbors are going to these protests that are staged and are financed, and they're basically risking
now
their
we
lives.
we have some boob in Tunkhannock doing nails protesting ICE and DHS. The amount of jackasses is beyond comprehension. And they just ignore fact, truth, and reality. They don't care about it. They just care about whatever they've been programmed to do, say, and regurgitate. It's sick. It's really
instant gratification. That's what it is. It's emotional. It's emotional and it's instant gratification. Oh, hate Trump. Okay, we're against Trump. So are we. Yeah, let's get them. That's instant gratification. That actually fills the need for their enemy. You know, that now they could rally and they could feel great. But the thing is,
I was with 3 of my grandchildren last night for a birthday party. They are more mature than the ICE protesters.
Without a doubt.
They have more rationality behind them.
I watched the podcast at 7 o'clock. I have the clip. I have all the details. I could send them to you. I mean, you could look at this. And I'm surprised law enforcement don't infiltrate like this. But I used an alias, got on the podcast, and this was the No Kings rally. So they had a podcast.
By the way, I wish it was a different set of idiots. It's the same people. It's the Bill Gawhins. It's the Mayor Cognettis. It's the Jessica. It's the same idiots.
Bad actors. Yeah, they're the same. Ilhan Omar, bad actors. So they get these people to watch these podcasts, and I did. It basically teaches you how to become a protester and what to do in face of authority, how to defy them, to flop like LeBron James when you get knocked over, scream, and carry attention. Their whole ideal here is to draw negativity to this authority, which is ICE, and anything Trump. They want to create chaos for them to be demonized. That's the whole organization process that I gathered online.
Well, I'm playing something that my friend John sent me tomorrow to open the show. It was a meeting at the White House where they really went into in depth the funding and the organization behind these scumbags. It's horrible. Hey, well, Max, we got to go, my man, because we're way over. But I appreciate it always. You know that.
I hope they expose who's doing the funding because it all come
the
together.
Names, the names and the whole package.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let's hear from our great sponsors. A little history, a little music, and then you. It's 570-883-0098 to reach us. Aerosmith. Murph says this date, 1977, they had their second top 10 hit with Walk This Way. It was number 10. Mother Teresa, St. Teresa for January 29th. She says, the more you have, the more you are occupied, the less you give. But the less you have, the more free you are. Poverty for us is a freedom. It is not a mortification or penance. It's joyful freedom. There is no television here, no this, no that, but we are perfectly happy. I always say about St. Teresa, Mother Teresa, she walked the walk. Certainly a walk I could never take, a path I could never follow. Incredible, and she's a saint for darn good reason. Hey, let's go to our man Luciano from Luzerne County. Hi, Luciano. How are you, my man?
Thank you, Bob, for taking my call. I usually don't talk to you, call you twice a week, but I had to talk to you about my hometown, my home city of Philadelphia.
That sickening pig. Did you hear the clips from that scumbag at the top of the hour?
I sure did,
Yeah.
and he's voted in twice already. And my brother I have a fraternal twin that lives in Philadelphia. He makes very good money, retired military, Navy. I don't know why he stays in a kind of rough city, a part of Philadelphia called Manayunk. But
Manayunk's nice. Parts of most of Manayunk is nice.
Oh, you're familiar with Philadelphia?
I lived there.
Oh, you did?
Oh, I lived there for 3 years. I went to Penn Law School.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Yes, but since Philadelphia is made up of, I'll quickly say, 35 or 38% of African-American blacks. But just let me say, he was voted in twice already. And I'll tell you this, Bob. You say soft heads. In the streets, we call them cupcakes. And, Bob, one last thing.
Or cabrones.
Yeah, cabrones. Oh, that's very Spanish.
That's almost my favorite word, cabron.
You learn pretty. Where you were, you learn some significant Spanish words. But let me just end it by saying this, Bob. February 1st, Donald Trump has put in place, with the help of the Republican House and Senate. Oh, God willing, he'll keep his work through. He's going to eliminate 12 states, including Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia. Pennsylvania is not a sanctuary city, but 12 major states eliminate federal funds from sanctuary cities. And I agree.
It's going to
100%.
Affect
Philadelphia, New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Antonio, San Diego, Minnesota, Rotten, Minnesota. I graduated from culinary school in Minneapolis, Minnesota, downtown Minnesota. St. Paul is the capital of Minnesota, so I'm familiar. It's like 20 miles away from Minneapolis. It's called the Twin City because they're so close to each other. They're only 20 miles away. But I did live in Minneapolis, and Bob, keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you, my man. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And Luciano,
yes.
We're going to bring back the theme song. I just love it too much.
Bob, I think it irritates and agitates some of the listeners.
Some of the ones we want to irritate, even though we love them, they deserve it.
Yeah, you're in charge. You make the decision.
All right,
Thank
so Bulldog,
Bob.
we're back to Ice Ice Baby for our guy.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. We're going to come back. We've got a Veterans Tribute. We've got the weather. And then maybe you at 570-883-0098. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Dutifully, loyally, patriotically. Brought to you by our man, John Basiliga, and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group, which consists of, for now, there's more coming, baby. The Old Brook Inn, 307 Springbrook Township. The Far Street Tavern. The reimagined neighborhood tradition in the Trips Park section of West Scranton. The Queen City Tavern, the heart of downtown Oliphant. Great bar restaurants, man. I'm telling you, not a better place to hang out than those three spots. Fine dining, yeah, we got it. Stegmeyer Mansion, downtown Wilkes-Barre. Think of going to Newport, Rhode Island, and having amazing food and a great bar. Yeah, the Stegmeyer Mansion. A Terra 519, one of the most gorgeous restaurants, your jaw will drop walking in. And they've got a happy hour now, 4 to 6 every day, $10 drinks. All kinds of events happening. Sergey's the nightclub. They'll be open tonight with no cover. And the Scranton Art House, my place to watch movies. Love it. Basiliga Hospitality. Dominic Avasato, Old Forge. We lost him at age 92, December 18th last year. His beloved wife, Mary Galia Avasato, preceded him in death in 2021. Born in Old Forge, an Old Forge High School graduate, Dom enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps and served from 54 to 56 during the war. He subsequently served, because he wasn't done yet, in the U.S. Naval Reserve until his honorable discharge. An initial employee of the Commonwealth of PA Department of Transportation, he later began a career at Chamberlain Manufacturing. He retired in 1996 after 32 years on that job. Dom greatly enjoyed hunting and fishing. Whether spending a quiet morning sitting in a ground blind with his son Ryan, casting a line at dawn, or sharing memories from past seasons, he was always happy when surrounded by nature. Proud, long-time member of the NRA. He cherished his wife Mary's homemade cooking, spending time in his vegetable garden and tending to his flowers. Lifelong parishioner of Prince of Peace Roman Catholic Church, Old Forge, Dom leaves behind to cherish his memory, his 4 children, his grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. 4 grandchildren and a great-grandson. Tragically preceded in death by a granddaughter, Julianne Panunti. Dominic Avasato. Leonard Zawacki. We lost him at age 98, January 7th. He was preceded in death by his loving wife of 75 years, Eleanor Sean Zawacki. Born in Dixon City, member of St. Mary's Visitation Church in that city and its Holy Name Society. He attended Dixon City High School and retired from General Dynamics Einan. We also used to call that the Chrysler plant. Member of the United Auto Workers, he served with the Civilian Conservation Corps in LaPorte, PA during the Depression, I would guess. He worked on projects like the World's End State Park. He was a rifleman with the Headquarters Troop 6th Constabulary Squadron during World War II, during the occupation of Germany. And he received the World War II Victory Medal and the Infantry Rifleman's Medal. He was a life member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Dixon City. Loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, and uncle. He was very proud of his garden and a jack of all trades. We lost him January 7th, and surviving, his 3 children. How about that? 6 grandchildren, 2 step-grandchildren, and 4 step-great-grandchildren. He was preceded in death, sadly, by a daughter, Carol Ann, 3 brothers, and 3 sisters. Leonard Zawacki. the oldest of our veterans today, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast meteorologist Joe Snedeker, brought to you our friends at Montage Mountain Resort. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, chance of a passing flurry, 17. 14 outside the studio right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, very cold, low of 0. Friday, partly sunny, breezy, and cold, 15. Saturday, partly sunny, breezy, and cold, 15. Sunday, cloudy and breezy, 20. And I hope the gang at the garage has the heat on. That's for sure. That's our weather, brought to you by our friends at Montage Mountain Resort. When I think conditions are perfect, and when I think of the weather, I think of Montage Mountain. When I think of Montage Mountain, I say, what's the weather? Sons of Swing, Dire Straits. Murph says this date, 1979, they re-released their first hit, which didn't catch on when it was released the year before. It became my prom theme, which I'll always love it for that. Bob Cordaro back with you on WILK. And just a reminder, if the weather's getting to you, an hourly sponsor we have here, Tina Morocco. She is a global sales advisor for Sotheby's International in Naples, serving all of Southwest Florida. Check them out online at Sotheby's. Look for Tina. Or go to Morocco Tina, Muracco, at gmail.com. Or just go Tina Morocco and Google her. You'll find her. She'll take you through and find you the right place. Hey, our congressman, Dan Muser, he's been slugging it out. He did great stuff with the budget. One of the leaders in the Congress, and he is with us. Congressman Muser, how are you?
Hey, Bob, I'm doing great. You know, I'm listening to you and sharing your sanity and facts, and you know, it's something when you talk about these great veterans, these great Americans, and then you think the polar opposite, people like Larry Krasner, who are basically anti-American anarchists, but that's why we're a nation of laws, because we have such great Americans, great people, and then we have lunatics, we have psychopaths. And even they, however, have to follow the laws. Now, very sadly, we have a district attorney in Larry Krasner who exists in Philadelphia, somehow gets reelected because George Soros pays for his election, and he manipulates the people there. So it's a really sad thing.
He is such an embarrassment to the people of Philadelphia. They should really be ashamed of themselves for having this scum as a city leader and as the chief law enforcement officer in Philly. It's insane. It's absolutely he's an insane person. And I said this, Dan, and I don't think he's evil. He is evil incarnate.
I don't think there's any question about it. I've heard him say such things before. As he's saying they're Nazis, he's going to hunt them down. I mean, let's face it. We had over 20 million, or say 20 million illegals come in. Thousands and thousands that were criminal types, gang members, all over the place. Hundreds of thousands, probably. You know, if you saw Tom Homan's press conference today,
yeah, I watched.
Just laying out a very reasonable approach in Minneapolis, how this should work, what the focus is, what we're doing, and then on the flip side, you hear the irresponsible elected official, a psychopath in Krasner, calling out and claiming that they're Nazis and just escalating this anarchy as opposed to trying to de-escalate and bring calmness. And it's awful. We're on the side of calmness. They're not. And when I say they're not, I'm going to just say it this way. The Democrat Party is not calling out Krasner. They're not calling out any of this hysteria. They're not calling out Waltz. I mean, from Josh Shapiro to members.
Josh Shapiro said, when they come to Philly, we'll be ready. What does that mean, Governor Phony? I heard his statement. And by the way, he's also the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, who would not step in when Krasner would not prosecute the law.
They're complicit in their silence. We've heard that one before. They're basically subliminally and sometimes directly, as Krasner does, encouraging it. They want the problem. They do not want the solution. Anarchy is part of their strategy to defeat Trump and to defeat Republicans. And folks, anybody who votes for that is voting for all the worst. They're voting for a sanctuary country. You vote Democrat in these midterms, you're voting for a sanctuary country. You're voting for lawlessness. You're for open borders again, all kinds of spending, all kinds of taxes. It's really become that dramatic. But go back to the root causes. I mean, when you have millions that come into our country, and in many cases not their own fault. Their assimilation doesn't happen. The crime is up, the petty crime, the violent crime, car accidents. Talk to insurance companies. Car accidents, a high percentage are those who are here. They don't even know our driving rules.
Yeah.
Police stops. The police will tell you when somebody's going sometimes 35 miles an hour on the highway or 135. I'm told by our Pennsylvania State Police, it seems like half the time it's an illegal that they can't even do anything necessarily about.
Dan Muser, you have to rub elbows because you have to, because it's your job. You have to rub elbows with this type of insanity every day. The Ilhan Omars of the world, the Squadsters, the AOCs. Is there? I don't. It's almost like you don't want their disease to be catching.
Most of them are more in the center. They're center left, but honestly, most of them are in the center, and most of the Democrats in the House are good people. 50, 60, 70%. The extremists run it, and then you have losers, bad people like Chuck Schumer, who are just political all the time. Nancy Pelosi, political all the time. Hakeem Jeffries, political 100% of the time. And he inverts the truth. He doesn't just fight against it or say things biased. He inverts the truth. And look, that's the direction that they want to go. Now they're going to shut down the government. They're going to shut down the government. It's almost definite.
Yeah.
If they don't vote on our appropriations bills that we pass in the House, and they're going to shut it down because they are opposing ICE. But the joke of it all is we already funded ICE. We funded it in the BBB. We got $70 million in a DHS appropriation, and most of the money, Bob, is going for body cams and more training for ICE. So there's basically no funding, but they're pretending that they're defunding ICE.
Yeah.
There's actually $100 million less for ICE. In
Well,
this,
I say
Homeland
this
Security
often,
bill.
and it's sadly true. If you aren't a liar and a phony, you cannot support today's Democrat Party.
No. And it's today's Democrat Party. It's the Democrat leadership. It's not the traditional Democrats. It's not many.
Oh, we got
of
plenty
the
of normals. Yeah.
Right. But it's their leadership and it's their political strategy. They think making people crazy, keeping people miserable, having their thumb over them from taxes and spending, and if you're not on the they're the nanny state. They're paying off their for their votes.
Yep.
I mean, that's why Shapiro has the highest error rate on SNAP programs and Medicaid of any state. And you don't think there's waste, abuse, and fraud? I mean, it's known, almost like 10%.
It's not only accepted, it's encouraged. It's like, I heard it described this way, and I think it's true. It is like not only a reward to political supporters, it is supposed to be almost economic incentive.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's how it's played out. That's why billions of dollars of waste, abuse, and fraud, let's just call it fraud, occurred in Minneapolis. They knew it was happening. Waltz knew it was happening. The Attorney General there, Ellison, knew it was happening. The mayor knew it was happening. I mean, in huge numbers. And they let it go. And that's probably why they're being so disruptive, creating the level of anarchy. It's not happening elsewhere where ICE is operating. It's happening there as a distraction.
And these idiots the two who got killed among them, and I don't want to ascribe this to you, but this is my clear view, they were cannon fodder for the agenda of the left. And nobody in that hierarchy of leadership and ideology cares less.
Yeah, and that was bad. Tom Homan, alluded to it. He'll talk about it more directly. But it's a powder keg that they're lighting.
Yep.
That's occurring there. And but the main message I wanted to call in on, Krasner's as bad as it gets. His prosecution of violent criminals is less than 30%. Before he came in, it was over 70% in our city of brotherly love that we truly do love. And if Democrat leadership doesn't call him out, they own Krasner's comments.
Yes, and they haven't yet. They haven't yet,
They haven't yet, and don't hold your breath.
Yeah. Congressman Dan Muser, thank you so much. I appreciate it, my friend. Always great to hear from you.
Thanks.
Keep
Thanks,
plugging.
Bob.
We're honored to have you in D.C. representing us.
We'll do, and God bless everyone.
All right. Dan Muser. We'll take a break and be back. Well, we can't talk over this. So we're going to wrap it up for the day. And somebody asking why would I pick Sultans of Swing as the prom song? So that everybody remembers it. Really, that's all. Thanks to Tina Morocco, Global Sales Advisor at Sotheby's in Naples, Southwest Florida. She's your source for warm weather. And Bacardo's. Let me do you a favor, guys. Get your Valentine a great gift from Bacardo Jewelers Scranton. Rings, necklaces, earrings, bracelets, birthstones. They help you find the perfect gift. Do it right this Valentine's Day. Get it at Bacardo's. My Bacardo Jewelers watch tells me it's 12, which means we gotta go. Adjourned.